Hey, if you hit my bumper, I get proof. That's perfect.
Alright, it's on the red light.
There you go. Now you are the perfect distance away from the garage.
I backed it up right on the road.
Yeah. I always park it super close to this side because when I open the door, I don't want to hit Brent's car. See? You did perfect. Why are you always so afraid to back our cars in?
I am not good at it.
Nah, that's good. It's perfect. My car's just a little bigger than Brent's. Hi, my name is Tyler. I am 19 years old. This is my new channel. I just want to do a little bit of introducing one-on-one with you guys before we get into today's vlog, which I thought was going to be pretty boring, and frankly it probably still will be pretty boring. But you know, we'll have some stuff to do. We'll have some work to do on this wonderful piece of garbage that I'm driving right now because my mom is driving my car. This car has no AC and literally zero brakes. It has no pedal. It's to the floor. But it has a handbrake, and I'm going to be using that to travel to the store. Then I got to go get the plate, and then I'm going to travel up. I've got a commercial account with AutoZone. I'm going to get some calipers from them. But we got a couple of things to do. Got to get gas, got to get my calipers, got to get the plate, got to make some food, got to do a couple of things. So today's going to be interesting. And if you're wondering how I drive this car with no brakes, basically what I do is I pull the e-brake halfway, and when I'm in drive, I drop it down to from overdrive to drive, which drops it a gear. Then I drop it to low, which drops it 2 gears when I'm slow enough. That slows me down most of the way, and the e-brake goes all the way up, and it slows me all the way to a stop. So I have this at a calculated thing, but unfortunately I don't have a head-mounted GoPro yet. At some point I'll get one when this is all over and my financial situation is better. But for now, I can't do a lot of driving and talking until I get the caliper fixed. But hopefully that'll be soon. Today. So here I am replacing my plate. And I don't know how often I get customers at my shop that say the screws had rusted into their car, and they usually have to get sent to a body shop to get them cut out and then new mounts put in. This car is 23 years old. It's almost historic by my state standards. What? Just went right out. Boom. Easy peasy. I don't really know what to do with the old one. I just now realized what I want to do with this. I want to make a license plate wall. I like 6 license plates at my house.
I think there's another one in there. I'll find it.
All right, so we have the car up on ramps because I don't want to pull the e-brake and do the front brakes at an angle, so I'm going to have it leveled out by the time it's jacked up, because right now it's facing nose down. So whenever I jack it up, it's going to level it out, and it'll be a lot safer to work on that way without an e-brake. So, because I've been stressing that thing out. So we're going to loosen the lug nuts on that, get the front end lifted off the ground, and start taking the tires off. So I got the passenger side caliper out, and you can see, so what had happened, the reason why I'm replacing both of them is not the fact that there's fluid on them. If it'll focus there, you can see that rust does not only go on the outside of that pin, but it also goes all the way through that. And this, as much as I move it, it doesn't actually move. So what that can do is cause uneven pad wear. And right there you can see that overall, I mean, I did these brakes probably 4 months ago, these pads. And I'd already known that I was gonna pad slap it, so I didn't really mind it too much, that I was gonna get some uneven pad wear. So that can cause uneven pad wear, premature wear on the brakes, and if it's bad enough, it'll actually warp your caliper, or your not caliper, your rotor. And actually, I'm pretty lucky here that overall this caliper is still in really good shape. It's not grooving anywhere. These marks here, these little rust marks, are because, well, unfortunately, the brakes haven't been really working all that well. So there's some rust marks, and if it gets bad enough, it'll actually cause you to have to replace the rotor as well. And you actually might still have to, because sometimes when that happens, it glazes the rotors and you get this squeaking, this squealing coming from your brakes, and you might think, oh, I just did my brakes. Well, if you pad slap it, old rotors will do that. Or if you do pads and rotors and it still squeaks after a while, it could be that you didn't lube these good enough, and it gets sticky sometimes. And you'll notice that the brakes will never feel as good when you first bought it, and that's why, is if this isn't cleaned up properly, then these little slide pins here seize up. And to prove to you that those move, which I'm sure you guys hopefully believe me, but here's a brand new caliper that I'm replacing it with. So this is actually a rebuilt caliper. They no longer make the calipers new, but look at that. Look at how easy that moves. That should be able to move in and out like that all the time. It's pre-lubed, and they do really well. Unfortunately, they only make rebuilt for my car anymore, but yeah. So I'm gonna get this on the passenger side, and then I'll show you the driver's side and why I really absolutely needed to do this. All right, one more thing. You also want to sand down your pads with one of these little sponge sanding blocks, because if you don't, then like this is what the pad looks like when you take it off, and this is the one that I've already sanded. If you don't do that, that can also cause a squeak as well. So scuffing up the pads will give it better grip, and it'll cause it not to squeak as well. As well as you want to make sure that you use one of these like sponge sanding blocks, because it'll not let you make aggressive sanding movements on the pad, so you won't create like flat spots or anything like that. It'll mostly just sand off like the dirt and all of the loose brake dust on these pads. So I've already done both these at this point. They look nice and clean. They're smooth to the touch. Not smooth, but you know, they don't have any grooves on them or any dirt in between them. And I also scraped out this in between, because if anything falls out of there and gets in the rotors, then you're in big trouble. You got a grooved rotor. So just some advice: if you ever replace your calipers after you just redid your brakes, then you can try to save them like that. And if they still squeak, it's going to be annoying. It's not going to be dangerous, but if you don't want it to squeak, you might end up having to redo the whole thing. And I know a lot of places have like lifetime brake pad and rotor warranties, so always go for that. And I'm going to get this side put back together, and we'll show you the driver's side. All right, here's where we have an issue with rebuilt products. So I've got everything back together. Now the issue is those are different sizes. That's from the old caliper. That's from the new caliper. Now, since these are rebuilt, hardware like that gets changed as well. So now we just kind of have to hope that this bolt here fits in the new caliper properly, and hopefully it transfers the fluid. So, oh boy. All right, so we got the driver's side off, and you can clearly tell that this one suffered some major damage. Now, what happened here? So the reason why this one needed replaced was very similar issues with the slides. They don't move. But when I had it off the first time, this seal in here, there's a seal in here that keeps the brake fluid from reaching the outside, and it broke, and that's why I didn't have a pedal, and that's why my pedal went to the floor. And you can see I have painted pads, and that's what brake fluid does to paint. Literally eats it. So, I mean, these pads are still good. I just have to do the same thing. I'm probably going to spray them off with brake clean first, then sand them. That way I'm not spreading the brake fluid all over the surface of the pad. You don't want to do that. But even then, you can see that these pads, I'll have to show you when they're off, but they're actually still pretty messed up. So these are going to take a lot more work than the other ones. So that's kind of the status of this side. I'm going to do my best to clean it up and fix it. Look at that. It made an imprint into my brake pad. Hopefully that's just the paint. Hopefully that's not the metal, but it's really hard to tell right now. But it looks like that's actually into the metal. That's insane. I'm still probably gonna end up trying to save them, but it was bad. It was super bad. So yeah, that's insane that this car has survived that. I'll kind of show you the carnage. On the rotor, actually isn't too bad. On the inside, you can really see like all this rust and stuff, all this buildup here. That's all brake fluid and brake dust that's mixed and gotten stuck. Oh, the whole rotor's actually like that. Hold on. Can I get that off? I can get that off. I've never seen this kind of wear on a rotor before. It's so bad. Here's the pad that was on the inside. Ugh, got a lot of cleaning up to do. I'll show you how well I do, but oh wow. All right, so I got the rotor cleaned up, nice and smooth. No more of those hot spots. We'll know more of that, whatever was on there, the mix of brake fluid and brake dust. It does feel really rough, especially, I don't know if you can see that, but especially around the dark areas right here. Really, really rough. And here's the pad that was contacting that side, which has been degreased, cleaned, sanded as best it can be. And look at that, it ate through the steel on that. When this one is not as bad, but still pretty rough. Now that was bad. This is hopefully not going to make any noise. I'm not going to be surprised if it doesn't make noise. I'm surprised it wasn't making noise before it completely blew, because it was leaking before it blew. So actually a little shocked, but I'm going to get it all put back together, bled, and then we'll take it on for a test drive. All right, everything is put back together, nice and smooth and clean. I'm going to take it on for a test drive after I get the wheels back on, but everything went well. All the hardware is on there. I actually forgot. Oh shoot, I did it again. I forgot to put in the clips that hold these pins in place. So I'm not done, but I'm going to put those in, and then I'm going to be able to get the wheel back on. We'll take it for a test drive. So, oh man, I'm kind of shaking because a giant pocket of air got into one of these hoses. I couldn't get it out, and eventually just squirted it all out, which is good. And the pedal is super, super hard, so that's always good. All right. So, time for a test drive. Let's get started. Now, this is going to go one of 3 ways. It's going to go the best case scenario, everything works perfectly, no noises, no anything. The middle case scenario is that the brakes work perfect, but there's some noise, and that's kind of what I'm expecting. That's the one I'm most expecting. But the pedal's hard, it feels good. And the third case scenario, which is the worst case scenario, says since I've run it out of fluid so many times, the master cylinder could be bad. And if the master cylinder went bad because I ran out of fluid so many times, it means I need a master cylinder. I'm gonna have to bleed it and do all sorts of stuff, and it's just gonna be a big pain. So the goal is for that not to happen, but let's put on our seatbelts here and let's go for a test drive. All right, so the pedal still feels really, really strong. The rear drums might need adjusted because the pedal falls pretty short, but once it actually hits, it hits hard. So I forgot something under the car. Let's see. Yep, I forgot one of my drain pans under the car. All right, let's do this. So far, no noises. It stops really, really well. I don't see any fluid in front of me. So far, I think we'll be okay. All right, so we're driving. So far, so good. First official stop. So far, no noises. Let's see. Nothing. Man, it sounds like if these pads are brand new and that they're already broken in. Woo! That feels good. All right, we're coming up to my turn. Oh, that pedal feels strong. Pedal so far is not dropping out. Let's do a nice little quick stop. Ooh, that felt good. That felt really good. No noises. It didn't fall to the floor. Everything's working great. Let's give it another good stop. Oh yeah, no, they're brand new. Yeah. I am shocked that they're not making any noise, but the pedal feels absolutely miles better. Like I legitimately expected this to just feel absolutely, I expect it to at least sound dreadful. But so far, I mean, around the block that I've gone so far, everything feels absolutely amazing. All right, she runs so good. The one issue is the pedal is it's a little squishy, but I'm probably gonna have to run for a minute and then bleed the brakes. But other than that, it runs great. As if I didn't get enough of working on cars today, I'm gonna help my buddy with his car. His car is kind of messing up, so I'm gonna meet him at his house. We'll hopefully work on his car for a little bit. Plus it gives me a good chance to break in these brakes a little bit, even though they're already used. I just want to make sure that there's not gonna be any issues with them. But basically he lost all of his gears in his trans, so we're gonna see if we can get him a new one. Also, what kind of sucks about this car is that it is entirely missing air conditioning. This car has 245 air conditioning, which essentially means you got 2 windows down at 45 miles an hour. And it sucks. It's hot right now. It is 80 plus degrees and I am sweating. So I've got to have the windows down, which means, of course, video quality is going to suffer a little bit, or at least audio quality. For at least today's video until I can figure out what's going on. The AC compressor, I checked it, it doesn't engage. I have not checked power and ground yet, and I just need to see if it's got power and ground and go from there. But I read up on these. According to the internet, if you do not have Freon in the system, it will not engage the compressor unless it has pressure. So I'm going to have to take it to my work and have them use the machine to put pressure in it, because you have to have the compressor engaged when you use those cans. So you have to have the AC on. With the machines, it actually has a low side and a high side on the AC system. The machines use that to its advantage, especially on systems that are completely empty. So you kind of force it through in a sense, but without damaging anything. So at least, rather, that's my understanding of it. I don't necessarily 100%, I don't have my AC certification, so I'm not legally allowed to work on AC systems, which is a shame. I need to take that class, but when I do that, I can actually legally work on them. I just have to dispose of the Freon properly, and I have to contain it properly. You're not allowed to release that stuff in the atmosphere. It is horrible. That's why you have the 1234F. Even though it's like twice as expensive, it's so much better for the environment, even though it's more expensive, and I totally prefer that. So anyway, that was just a little disclaimer on why I have my windows open all the time. As of right now, like I said, that could probably change in the future. Hopefully it changes in the future, but I just wanted to give you that update while I'm on the way there.
I find it hard to describe my anxiety. Feel like my heart and my mind got a rivalry. Feel like my thoughts and emotions are fighting inside of me. I gotta get the shit out of me. I feel like for us, I'm running from everything. I never saw this shit in its entirety. If you need someone to get something 90% done and quit on it, you should just hire me. I'm feeling closer to death. I feel a hole in my chest. Feel like I'm stuck underwater. Feel like I'm holding my breath, like it's the only one left. Nobody know I'm depressed, even the people that know me the best.
Yeah.
I call my mama, she told me to rest.
The dogs are adorable. All right, so here I am. They got the starter out, got most of the wiring stuff undone, and it's getting pretty close to the bare trans, so I'm getting close, but it's gonna get rowdy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Dude, you look like a Mexican.
I always look like a Mexican. I see it. Well, because of the rain, we probably have time where you get there just when she gets off. So that means you probably shouldn't leave till 9:30 because that 25-minute drive.
Wow. Nice. Hey, BB. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
As soon as that wind started picking up, I knew it was
Hey. Oh, yeah, you're so cute. You're so cute, aren't you?
She's a pit terrier.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the same as Rocky. Yeah, it is.
It's gonna get rowdy. Roll my windows. I went 0 to 100 real fast, boys. Woo! Oh, fuck. Hopefully the fire goes out on its own. That wind's blowing those embers. Fuck. They're all this. We still got the grill outside running. Jesus. How's your self-quarantine going? We were forced inside.
But we will have our pork.
Hey, baby. Yeah, the grill still goes on. We're getting our food.
What?
It is literally pitch black everywhere. Like the lights are out. I'm on the back roads right now going home. Oh, okay, there's power on up here. Woo! It's like a 50-50 shot if there's power or not, but I don't think I've ever seen these parts of my city go this dark. I think maybe one time, and that was, oh my god, 10 years ago. And now I'm starting to get into the parts where there's still power. There's less houses. So, Jesus Christ. Guys, check this out. This is usually all lit. Okay, so on my way back, I usually take a different road than this, and they have an entire road shut down for some reason. Trying to figure that one out. Holy shit. Like this is mad. Yeah, thanks for turning your lights off. It's real late. But so I found another way. All this is just fucking pitch black. We're going through my neighborhood. Oh, they have their solar powered driveway lights on. That's about as much light as we're gonna see in the neighborhood. Like, it's full dark. It's absolutely insane. All the lights you see right now, all the shines, are all my headlights reflecting off cones, traffic signs, car taillights, all that. This is nuts. So there's trees down, there's all sorts of stuff from everything. And by the way, we did get that fire out. I made sure that was a priority because there was no way I was letting it go no matter how windy it was getting, because that could have caused way more damage. But it is full pitch black. Cops were blocking off roads, all sorts of stuff. But as far as I know, everyone's safe. So, oh, whoa! Holy shit! I just caught that on fucking camera, bro. Oh, what? They got lights? Whoa, did you guys see that? That was insane. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was absolutely nuts. Wow.